Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 12 for this season, otherwise entitled Goodbye Vibrations. Of course, we know what this episode is, so let's just watch the trailer and then we'll talk about it.
From the second I woke up, you've been there. There wouldn't be a Flash without Cisco or Ramon.
We are gonna miss you so much.
Let's do this one last time.
I'm not gonna let you die.
This is the end of an era.
So last episode was the finale for the Force storyline, which is sort of serving as like a mid-season finale at the same time, but we're not having a break between that episode and this episode. But of course, we saw the end of it. Really nothing happened. It was a bit of a whimper of a finale. I think that's probably the best word. I think it's what a lot of people are thinking. They could have done it better. I think it maybe could have been a bit of a more spectacular ending, which then leads into the back half of the season. It doesn't really set anything up, which is probably the most disappointing thing about it. Like, it just felt very separate and just a bit anticlimactic. The only real big thing last episode was, I guess, that Frost is out of prison along with Chillblaine, which I'm assuming will lead into this episode, at least the Frost stuff. I think, unless she stays in hiding, I'm not too sure. And of course, we had the reveal that Barry and Iris are going for attempting to have children, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. We knew that would eventually come, so it was just sort of like a when, not if. So yeah, that was revealed last episode as well. Obviously, that's teasing / setting up the arrival of Bart Allen or Impulse later this season. So yeah, and also I guess Nora's coming back as well. But before we get into the actual breakdown of this trailer and talk about everything, we will quickly read out the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context and information about this episode. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various opinions, thoughts, theories, just what you're looking forward to the most in this episode in the comment section down below. I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you are going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode, why not drop a like on the video to show your support for the channel and just your overall hype. Cisco and Camilla tell the team they are leaving Central City. However, Barry, Iris, and Caitlin don't have much time to digest the news because a new version of Rainbow Raider strikes, and OG Team Flash must join together one final time to save the city. So yeah, as you can tell by the title, and we found the news out about a month ago, I think it was roughly, that Cisco, or Carlos Valdez, who plays Cisco, was leaving the show. So this is the Farewell Cisco episode. And I think it's going to be a pretty rough one to watch, especially for those OG Team Flash fans and stuff like that. Now, the only thing that put a question mark in regards to this being the Farewell Cisco episode is that it was noted down that Cisco will be in the finale. So it's hard to tell whether that actually means like the actors coming back to film new scenes for the finale, or whether it's like on the phone. You know, he might have recorded just a voice thing for them to play in the finale. It's him on the phone, or it's a video message or something like that. I don't know if Cisco, the character, comes back to Central City for the finale. So that's a wait and find out. They're filming the finale at the moment. I don't think there's been any intel or anything in regards to him being in Vancouver where they film. So it's not goodbye for good in regards to completely, because we might see him in the finale. And to be completely honest, I think we'll see Cisco in a future season, whether it's next season's the final season and he shows up there for one episode. I think we'll see him again. It's just goodbye to Cisco in regards to him being consistently throughout the season, whether it be, you know, every episode or majority of episodes. But we start off the trailer, we're just seeing Cisco reminiscing over his time in Star Labs, and I guess more specifically, his time on Team Flash. Now, I do wonder throughout the episode if we're gonna go down memory lane multiple times. Like, they'll bring up various things, like the photo that he brings up is the one we've seen multiple times of that OG Team Flash, of you know, Caitlin, Barry, himself, and Wells. Obviously, in the synopsis they allude to Iris being an OG Team Flash. We know that's not the case. We've talked about in a previous video that maybe the synopsis got it wrong. Or maybe they're saying Iris is OG Team Flash. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I am hoping that we see a few different throwbacks. I'm not saying like flashback scenes or us re-seeing, you know, getting to see scenes again from like season 1, but just them talking about it or something like that, or even just quotes and, you know, things that fans would recognize. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But we did have Barry telling Cisco how much he means to him, and I guess more importantly, how important he is to the foundation of Team Flash, which is obvious. Like, without Cisco, without really all of them, I guess, there is no, you know, Team Flash. There's no Barry as the Flash. Very important. So it's going to be interesting to see how they honor that throughout the episode and stuff like that. That's usually what just shows in general do. If someone's been there for a while, they'll sort of hammer home like the importance that the character was to that organization, team, or that just that person in general, whatever it is. So I'm intrigued to see how they handle that, because we also do have Caitlin saying, I think we're all going to miss you so much. So we're all Caitlin in that situation. I think I'd be surprised if you've been watching since season 1, you're a fan of just Team Flash as a thing and Cisco as a character, that you don't shed a tear. I think most of us will be shedding a tear in this episode. Some people might be full on bawling, crying. I'm not too sure. It'll be interesting. It's going to be sad to see Cisco go, but I'm also just very intrigued and interested to see how they handle it and how he goes out and everything like that. I guess the most important thing is that he's not going to die, even though this trailer sort of suggests that, which we'll talk about. If he died, it'd be the worst ending possible for a character. Like, I hate when they kill people as an excuse to leave the show. Just let them leave the show. Let them go do their own thing. Don't kill them. That's so stupid. But as they do say in the trailer, it's Cisco's final mission. So let's hope that it's something that he can really help out with. Now, the thing is that we do see in the trailer, we see Barry speeding in both Cisco or Mega Vibe as well as Allegra. So Allegra's coming along now. I have a feeling with Cisco leaving and Chester's like sort of going to fill in like Cisco's role within Star Labs, but on the field, I have a feeling they're going to start pushing Allegra out there, because Allegra has, and people might not like this, I understand, but Allegra has an episode of her own in the back half of the season. I think it's episode 14, so 2 episodes after this one. So they need, like, it's not like, oh, they need, but it's they need, emphasis on need, or have to develop her more as a character and as some sort of hero out on the streets, and just her relevance and her use on the show, or it's getting to the point they may as well get rid of the character. Because if they can't really emphasize the importance of Allegra in one of those areas, then I think she's the most useless character in the history of the show. And that's no offense to the actress playing her, but her powers aren't necessarily overly interesting. It's like ultraviolet rays, and I don't know this, like, the Team Citizen isn't that big of a show, a bigger part of the show, might I say, where like Iris needs an assistant, journalist or something. We could just see Iris do it. So it just seems like Allegra's tagging along. So they've really got to do something in that episode to hammer home, and they might start in this episode as well, but they got to hammer it home why us, the audience, should care about the character and why she's important to the show. Otherwise, I don't know. It could be one of, I'd hate to see it, but it just could be one of those things where like people just constantly bag the character online and the actress sees and stuff like that, which we don't want. So hopefully they can do something there. That's for us to wait and find out. It's a big question mark, but let's wait and see. But this isn't about Allegra. This is about Cisco. But yeah, there's a blimp, I think it's a blimp over Central City, and someone seems to be controlling it. At first, I thought we were going back to Earth 2, and this might be an Earth 2 thing. I'm not too sure, like a flashback to Earth 2, because a blimp was over that city. But I think this is meant to be like current day on Earth Prime. So we see a blimp and someone seems to be controlling it. However, are they under the influence of someone else? Well, as the synopsis says, and as we see in the trailer as well, a new Rainbow Raider is in town. Now, it will be interesting to see, is this person from the Iron Heights breakout? Were they in there, like, in the like beginning of Team Flash, but post crisis, so we never saw it happen? Maybe they were in Iron Heights and now they're out, or is this just a new character or something like that? That'll be interesting to find out. But this new version of Rainbow Raider is called Carrie Bates. That's the character's name. Now, it is hard to tell whether she is actually a metahuman or she has a weapon, because it looks like she's pointing something to Barry and Cisco here, but then again, she just could be raising her arm in a weird way. Maybe that's how she does her powers. Can't tell. Could be either. They don't specify metahuman in the synopsis. They don't say new metahuman. They just say new version of Rainbow Raider. So let's wait and see what happens there. Could be either. But I would have to assume that she's influencing the pilot of the blimp. Like, that would be my guess. I'd be surprised if it wasn't her. Or maybe she's the one doing it. Or maybe it's Barry and Cisco. I think someone was wearing a glove. Maybe that's the Mecha Vibe gauntlet from memory. I can't remember. Maybe it's one of them controlling the blimp. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just in regards to if she maybe is from Iron Heights, Rainbow Raider, will we meet more metas or more villains that we in Iron Heights later in the season? Or is this just a one-off? I'm not too sure. But Cisco does say, like, reference, like, willing to sacrifice himself for Central City. As I said, they're not going to kill him. Well, they've referenced him being back in the finale. If they kill him, I would be so angry. That's the stupidest way to kill off a character or to say goodbye to a character on the show. Is to just kill them off. Like, it's so lazy. So hopefully they don't do that. Maybe it's just a last sign of Cisco's heroics, and that he's willing to do anything for not only the city, but also his friends in like Barry and Team Flash and stuff like that. Now, one thing I'm very curious about in this episode is potential setup for the back half of the season within the episode. Because that's what they did in episode 4, which was like that episode which had Abracadabra in it, which then set up the forces because we saw Faweza, or, you know, Alexa's character come in. So I do wonder at the end of this episode where maybe there's a Godspeed tease or his arrival. We know he's a big part of the back half of this season. Or maybe it's something else that's somewhat similar or, you know, related to Godspeed, but not Godspeed specifically. Or maybe they just mentioned the name August Hart. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'd assume there's going to be something like that in this episode, but that's for us to wait and find out. Now, the last thing is that we do go on a 1-week break or hiatus after this episode. So there won't be an episode the week after this episode, but then we'll be back the week after. It's the only break, from what I know, until the end of the season. So there's one more break and that's it. We're not going to have like a 3-week break or whatever it was like we did before episode 8 or 9 or whatever it was. So, yeah, not long to go until, or actually nothing to wait for. That's what I was going for. So yeah, don't have to worry too much about those breaks, but there is one 1-week break after this episode. And also no promo images. They'll probably drop them a couple of hours after this video comes out because that's what they've done the past couple of weeks, but there's none at the moment to talk about. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this. What are you looking forward to most this week? Are you sad to see Cisco go? Just let me know your general thoughts down there. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.